Romeo Dobbs a touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now.
Two great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they already came out. There's a couple guys that came out and said that Rodgers is telling
solution of it, and don't let him go for anything under than one.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to Bill and Nick with their website and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and skip doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball all. He kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the ribs, and the ball was just jumping out of his hand. Agreed.
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Frozen Tundra Network. We got a lot of good stuff, a lot of great signings for Green Bay. Looks like our defense might actually be worth a shit this year, right? So let's go ahead and start off with our first topic. I want to get to it immediately because I know we're going to want to talk about it a lot. There's this guy. He was a safety for the Giants. His name is Xavier McKinney. He's been rated. PFF has rated him as one of the best safeties in the league for a while now. And guess what? The Green Bay Packers sealed him up for 4 years, $68 million. The kid is 24 years old. All right? 24 years old. With this young, up-and-coming defense with a brand-new coordinator. I don't know, you guys. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and start with Ken because he's the one that actually called this signing by Green Bay. What do you think about us getting Xavier McKinney?
I absolutely love this move. This kid is a real dog out there. He is going to end up being one of the major pillars of this defense with the way he goes about. Because not only did he show some leadership over with the Giants, but it was also that his play drew everybody in that, hey, I'm the guy you should be paying attention to. I'm expecting him to have a huge impact with this secondary. And even the people that go out there and say that Jair isn't, the best locker room experience type of guy, and he's not the best leader, which I don't see at all. But if they stick with that with Jair, this guy is almost the complete opposite with the way people gravitate towards him. I think between the both of them, we're going to have one outstanding secondary.
Yeah, I like it. So apparently, I'll go right to Rob next. Apparently, from what I read, there had something to do with Jordan Love, recruiting these guys this year, or what did you see out there, Rob?
Well, he also, I think he had ties to Halfley. That was another reason why he was, coming this way. But Jordan Love being here has drawn a lot of people. That's what made Jacobs want to come here. It's made other people, take notice that, Jordan Love is the real deal, and we're going to be going places. So they want to be with winners, and that's what happens when you get guys on your team like that. It brings star studs in. This guy, I think Ken said he was rated for the last 3 years the top PFF grade for his position.
Yep.
So bro, are you kidding me? With him and Jair already, and then Valentine. I'm loving how Ken is right. Our secondary is going to be a pillar. It hasn't been that in a very long time. I'm excited.
What about you, Isaac? What do you see with this signing? What does this mean for Green Bay? Where are we headed, man?
543 snaps, 0 touchdowns allowed. Man,
wow! Nice stat. Holy shit, bro!
We might have found our Nick Collins on our team. Nick Collins is back, baby. This guy's going to take over our defensive
And he's
backfield.
24 years old, which was around the age that Collins got hurt and never played again. So,
Holy McKinney Island.
Hope he doesn't share that curse. So
I think that he's going to break that curse.
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, ain't no Bobby Laning on us. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, he's going to be playing pretty well for us. I mean, that backfield's shaping up. Hafley has that system to make our defense aggressive. He's going to make some plays. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, John Dorn, real quick, I want you to touch on this before you talk about the Xavier McKinney signing. Why are the Lions the same old Lions, John?
Same old Lions, man. Didn't they try to fix their secondary last year and they failed? Now they're doing it again, and it looks like they're failing again. I mean, same old Lions. Picking up garbage.
What happened to Gardner Johnson, man? I thought that was supposed to be the signing of a
Mosley. What about Mosley? They break him up so much too at Mosley. What happened to him?
What do you think about this Xavier McKinney signing, then?
Great signing, man. Great signing. He's one of the best. He's actually the best covered corner or safety that's out there. Nothing wrong with that. Good is building a fucking dynasty, man. He's building a dynasty. Man, I'm telling you, these trophies are be coming in. Sorry, Lions, man. I see the Bears overcoming, taking you within this year, next year. You're going to go back to third to the basement. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, the more I watch McKinney highlights, he's not afraid to tackle either. That's one thing I like about him. He's not like, Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix was a pretty good ball hawk, but he couldn't play in the NFL because he did not want to tackle. I watched this guy not just going low and hitting people, but wrapping up too. Like, he's not scared to tackle people. So
exactly.
Someone who, and look, I'm not saying this is who Xavier McKinney reminds me of. I'm just saying skill sets like that remind me a lot of why Charles Woodson was so great in the league, right? You could depend on him to be in coverage. You can depend on McKinney to be in coverage. Charles Woodson, I think he actually liked when the running back was bouncing on the outside because he was right there to stop his ass every time. Jared Alexander has those same tendencies where when you see the running back pulling to the outside, Jared's like, bring it, man. I'm about to,
The only thing I don't like about that with Alexander is the susceptibility of his shoulders to get dislocated because it's happened a couple of times now. But with McKinney now, you might not need Alexander to be doing it as much.
Yeah, so with the McKinney signing, I'm going to bounce us right to this one. How should the Packers reshape the secondary for Jeff Hafley? And look, the McKinney signing is already reshaping the secondary for us, right? We lost Owens. Fine. We all kind of wanted him to come back, but, he's obviously not the greatest safety. I just thought that he was a good filler if we didn't have any safeties. You know what I mean? Ford, I think Ford could be a starting safety, but I don't want to watch our guys get injured anymore and not play. I'm just kind of sick of it. And from what I've seen, McKinney doesn't really have an injury history, so that's good. But as far as reshaping the secondary as a whole, there was another guy that we actually brought back, and I loved it. This is who I've been calling for. And that was Corey Ballantyne, man. Or Ballantine is what other people say. I call him Ballantyne. Man, so we brought back Nixon. We brought back Ballantyne. We put Xavier McKinney back there. What's our next move? I'm going to go to you, Rob.
We need to get – I still want to draft Cooper DeJean or I'm serious, bro. That would just lock up safety. I mean, our secondary would have so much depth. I mean, going after Kool-Aid, I don't care who you get. I just want to stay with the secondary. We need that right there. That's going to be the cornerstone of our defense.
So Rob, we need pertaining to this reshaping the secondary. What do you see?
Well, yeah, we're totally switching over to that. This is where we're switching over to. We're going to have guys closer to the line. I remember when we played like this. We bump guys off the line, so receivers aren't going to get that quick, 2-yard pass right off the bat. A lot of wide receiver screens. That's all going to be stuffed right at the start. We're going to have guys close enough to be able to just. We're going to be smothering, bro. Smothering, literally smothering.
Yeah, I love it. So, John, I'm gonna let you take this one real quick. What do you think about what Urinal Jackson, or I guess Ural Jackson said?
Urinal. He has his own opinion, man. Care less.
His name is Urinal.
Is that Urinal? Is it? How you pronounce Urinal?
Urinal
fans
everywhere. Wherever I go, I got fans. But
fans everywhere, John.
So our co-host Bill showed up, and we were talking about the Xavier McKinney signing with the reshaping of the secondary. We touched on Keyshawn Nixon coming back, Corey Ballantyne coming back, with Xavier McKinney being signed. What's our next move? How do you see us reshaping the secondary as a whole?
I don't know if there's very many moves left to make. I mean, we could draft another safety just to be, have some depth as far as, because, like, I don't know, you always got to have that depth. And the way Jeff Hafley likes to run the defense, he's going to want 5 DBs out there at all the time. So, well, a majority of the time, that's the type of defense he likes to run. So, the more the merrier at this point, And
we're very thin at linebackers, man. We need linebackers bad.
Yeah, and not even that. We need a cover linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Someone who, that can kind of cover, but still be able to run up and stop the run. Because that's like my main issue. I hope he can stop the run this year.
I think that's why Jeremiah Trotter has been so intriguing to Packers fans because of the speed. And we already have a great tackler at middle linebacker. We already have someone that can handle everything that he needs to handle at the middle linebacker position in Quay Walker. But I think you're right. If we have someone next to him that can do coverage, maybe play even an outside linebacker, like a true outside linebacker.
Like Baker?
I would love it.
Like Baker? Bring in Baker?
Let me touch on this. Let me touch on this real quick. You know what, Urinal? I think you're wrong because the same old Lions would definitely have the biggest implosion in NFC Championship history to embarrass themselves as the worst franchise in NFL history. So I actually think you're wrong. They are the same old Lions.
24-7.
I don't understand how they're not the same old Lions. They've never gotten any further than they've ever been. I mean, I understand you haven't done it. It takes you 30 years in between doing it, but you didn't get no further. You didn't get out of the NFC. You didn't get out of the NFC Championship game. You never seen a Super Bowl. I mean,
and you got everything going your way. Everything was almost given to you on a silver platter, and you fucking blew it. Coach blew it for you. All three. I mean, against us, he blew it against the Cowboys. He blew it against the 49ers. Man, same old Lions.
Hey, we'll get that again, Dorn. What was that again, Dorn?
I would say Dan Campbell is a fraud. I'm telling you right now.
They gave him 4 more years. They gave him 4 more years.
He reminds me exactly Matt Nagy riding that fucking defense. That's what he's doing. That's what Campbell's doing is Ryan Ben Johnson.
You know what also makes them the same old Lions is you guys are crying about he should have been coach of the year, even though the Browns had 5 different starting quarterbacks. Okay, 5 different starting quarterbacks. And they brought in a guy who even the Jets didn't want over Zach Wilson. Nobody wanted him. And they lost one of the best running backs in the whole league. You can't even be able to say, other than CMC, maybe he is the best running back. And you still dominated and got to the playoffs. And this bum who he deserves it. Oh, it's crazy. You guys are crybabies. You're always going to be the same old Lions. I don't care if you guys win 10 Super Bowls in a row, because to us, you'll always be the little brother. You'll always be the same old Lions. You guys suck. So I don't give a shit what he says.
Well, Nick, actually, what I was going to say is they've been in the basement so long, their ass imprint is still in the damn couch.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you want to get that thing out,
Hey, they're actually the nickname that Dorn gave him. The other nickname that Dorn gave him.
Who's gold?
Lions.
Who's gold Lions? Who's gold Lions are the same old Lions.
Let's get back on it. Why are the Lions the same old Lions? That's why. Urinal. That's why. You fucking crybabies. Get the hell out of here, bro. So I'll let you start off, Isaac. Since we're talking about Xavier McKinney, what a fucking great signing. We needed a safety. We also picked up Josh Jacobs, and we swapped him basically for Aaron Jones. How do you feel about that, man?
I'm sad to see Aaron Jones. He's been a fan favorite. Took 2 pay cuts to stay on our team. Really a leader. He was a leader last season, when he was having the young wide receivers coming up to them, telling them, don't worry about dropping footballs. You're going to get the football back. Jordan Love's that guy that would feed back these wide receivers, but Jacobs brings a new element to our team. You know what I mean? Jacobs didn't really have a good season last season, but I think with our O-line, he could go back to that rushing leader. And just like Dan Orlovsky said on the show, this could be a very dangerous offense. And this adds more fuel to the fire that is our offense. So, I mean, Jacobs is a really angry downhill runner. And with our O-line opening up holes for him, sky's the limit for this offense.
Yeah, Jacobs really he's faster than Aaron Jones too. He's got some blazing speed.
Doesn't he lead the league in like breaking tackles or something like that?
Yeah, he leads the league in broken tackles after the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 130 broken tackles.
Oh yeah. I love bringing Jacobs in. I really hate seeing Aaron Jones go now. But Aaron Jones going to the Vikings, he's going to have to get used to this site because I really hope Jordan Love picked it right up too.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about it? What do you think about it, Bill? I mean, like, look, I just don't like the way that they got rid of Jones. That's the only thing that I'm irritated about. But I mean, it's true what people are saying. We may very well have gotten better at running back because of this, and younger.
I think Josh Jacobs is as good, if not better, running back as Aaron Jones, but we definitely got younger. 100%, because I believe he just turned 26 in February. Aaron Jones.
Yep, and Aaron Jones is turning 30.
Oh, 31, I believe, right?
No, he's turning 30.
30. But still, that's a 4-year difference, and running backs take a lot of abuse. So that 4 years is definitely going to make a huge difference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and pointed out earlier, too, is I don't think he's played with a line like we have. So he's really going to have an established line, making holes for him to do what he does, like what Aaron Jones did to the Bears. But now we're going to have someone to do with every team.
Sup, guys?
You know what, though?
Up, A-Dub.
I'll give it to you, A-Dub. Give me 1 second. It's not just the offensive line to me either. It's also the capable quarterback that you have to where you don't have to put everybody in the box and just stop the run. Like, go ahead and try to stop Jacobs all game by loading up the box. Dude, we will chew you up with Jordan Love and these receivers, man. And not only that, the Raiders don't have a package, an offensive scheme like the Packers do. Like, we like to use our tight ends and give chip walks. A lot of motion. We do so many things to help out the running back. I mean, Jacobs didn't play that great last year, but I think it was because of the Raiders more so than it was Jacobs. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jacob said he wants to get back to his 22 form.
Yeah, and to add on to that, you gotta think about this. When you think of the Green Bay Packers, you gotta consider we're one of the best play action offenses in the NFL today.
Yep.
So that's definitely gonna be a big help for Josh Jacobs in terms of him being able to run the football effectively, get passes out of the backfield, do just about anything on his offense.
Yep. And so you can go ahead and touch on the Jacobs signing, John. But after that, if you want to touch on it first, let's now talk about.
Could I have John Dorn respond to a comment? Hey, John Dorn, you want to crack at that one?
Oh yeah, Nick's got this guy triggered.
Oh my God!
It's more from your guy to handle this comment. So.
Man,
which fan base is this guy a part of?
Lions.
Marley gonna make the playoffs?
Yeah, we're gonna
Marley. Nick got him in his feelers.
Wow.
Dude, how many times can you misspell barely? Oh my goodness.
Go ahead,
Hey, not only that, what's called Jacobs is gonna have a shank that he brought from the Raiders. You know what I mean? Shank people as he's running by.
When I first found out about the signing, I thought, kick ass, we got the best dual fucking running backs in the fucking league, man.
Yeah. So
I was right after that, raked his rug right at my feet and goes, no.
So I also want you to touch on that we brought back AJ Dillon, which there's a lot of the fan base is like 50-50 on that one, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing right now.
Okay, well, and then once I seen that Jones did that press conference in the Vikings and said goal, after that he can pound sand. I can give two shits about him until he retires. But anyways, now back to my quarterback. I mean, my running back, Jacobs. I think he's Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon put together. He's one of those. You imagine him, how he runs and everything else. It's A.J. Dillon and Jones mixed together. I mean, we got the best deal on the deal. I think we did good.
Honestly, I think Matt LaFleur
And he's difficult to bring down too.
I think what they should do is they should at the line of scrimmage have Josh Jacobs on A.J. Dillon's back and run. And then as soon as he starts going down, he jumps off his back.
Maybe, but I think Bill's getting to something. Maybe that's the only way DeGuara can stay on the roster is by carrying these guys behind him.
I have an interesting theory that happened is why we brought back A.J. Dillon. We're like transporting his thighs onto Jacobs, so he has super thighs.
It's like Tommy John surgery, but with their
A.J. Dillon contract is very cheap for us. It's like $1.2 million or something like that.
He don't want to move. He's a Door County type of guy. He don't want to move where he's very comfortable.
Yeah.
See, after when he's done in Green Bay, he's most likely going to retire from football.
Well, I think also this is just my assumption. There's going to be more information that does come out eventually, but I think that A.J. Dillon ventured the open market, and I don't think others were very interested, if I'm being honest.
Well, and another thing, you look at it, you bring him back, it can get everybody up to speed. You know what I mean? So, I mean,
he's like the oldest player on the team.
Yeah, he knows the playbook more than anybody. You know what I mean?
A.J. Dillon's the vet now, the old school vet.
Yeah.
Crazy dude, that is wild, dude. That is on the whole roster, dude. When you think
about it.
Tiari's gone and Jones is gone.
Right.
How old is Dillon? Because Jacobs is 26, 30, so I mean he's not
around 30.
Really?
20. A.J. Dillon, he's 25, perhaps.
25, yeah. He's young.
Hey, we got to keep A.J. Dillon away from the cheese. He'll end up like Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob,
you could say
he's 25 years old.
But Rob, why don't you tell me what you thought of this whole entire thing going down, man? Especially bringing back A.J. Dillon, which a lot of people didn't want to see, but a lot of people did want to see.
Well, I mean, we talked about it in the morning show. Ken seems to believe that the Packers did this for a PR thing because we got rid of, Aaron Jones, and that hurt a lot of Packer fans. So instead of cutting both those guys,
that's a PR stuff.
Well, but I'm just look, bro. I'm just giving you another side of it. I personally, I didn't want to bring Dillon back. I think we could just draft a couple guys, and we're going to be fine. I still think we're going to draft somebody. I know Emmanuel Lewis is still on our roster, and he's going to probably back up, Jacobs, which I'm good with.
Daniel Wilson.
But I'd love Steve Jacobs. Jacobs, everybody keeps saying, like a lot of the fans, they said it's a lateral move. So basically, it's the same. We just swapped. I mean, Aaron Jones is a different style runner. Jacobs has had a rushing title. We've never had a rushing title in Green Bay. This could be our chance at getting one with this guy. I mean, he's signed for 4 years.
Over 1,000 yards and first down. Over 1,000 yards and first down.
Just to be clear, Rob, I'm not saying that anything you said didn't make sense. I'm saying what you said, Ken said, this PR stunt thing, that makes no sense that you would get rid of Jones the way that you did and be like, you know what, let's bring back a backup running back to soften everybody's feel. That makes no sense.
No, what happened was the Packers drew a line. This is what we're going to pay you. You take it or you're not. We're going to move on. Yeah. And he didn't take it. He went out and checked the market. He didn't check too long because nobody offered him big money. He took $2 million more. That's it. It's like, okay, they couldn't. I mean, so to me, it's like
the Packers made it very clear when they moved on from Jones that they were not gonna. It doesn't matter. They're gonna move on if you're out. That's it.
We're gonna go to A-Dub now and his thoughts on it, but I just want to say, if Green Bay really wanted to make a PR stunt, they would give fucking Sean Clifford a 4-year deal. That's how you make a PR stunt, all right?
Clifford.
I heard we're trading them.
Yeah.
So, A-Dub, go ahead. Give us your thoughts on the whole situation.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm on the same bout with some of you that part of me didn't want to see Dillon come back only because Dillon's production had clearly regressed from where he started out when we first drafted him. But then at the same time, my thing is like, he's very familiar with the system and knows the offense to where, yeah, they want to keep him along. But my only hope is he coming back, will he actually be the same kind of back that Josh Jacobs is, to where he can force some missed tackles and be much more aggressive and violent with the runs he gets on the field? Because that was what I felt was the whole thing lacking for him when he played. He had to be much more violent, much more aggressive, force when getting fed the ball, force certain yards out there and be able to break tackles like Jacobs can.
I think this could actually push him to be better. Actually, I think it could push him to play better. This, he's like, wow, we just market. There's nobody out there wanted him. He comes back to that low a price, and he knows he's young yet. He gets one more chance to prove that he can be every down back, or at least be a solid backup.
Personally, I don't think that A.J. Dillon's downfall last year was that he just wasn't capable. I got to be honest, like, the first couple of years, A.J. Dillon, we saw a lot about him in the offseason at practices, a lot of work that he was putting in, all these crazy workouts. I really didn't see a whole lot of that this last offseason. And I kind of think that A.J. Dillon thought that his spot was solidified in Green Bay as the number 2 running back. So maybe he got a little lazy. Maybe he got a little bit too complacent. I think he didn't put enough work in. And I think now that he went to the open market, Green Bay made it clear that we may not bring you back. Okay, you know what? We will bring you back on a 1-year cheap deal. I think that's going to motivate this guy to work his ass off, and we're going to see, hopefully, a much better A.J. Dillon this time around. Go ahead, Isaac. What do you think?
What pissed me off about A.J. Dillon is that he can't find the hole worth shit. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Like,
and drafting a running back will still be a given.
Yeah, O-line makes a big-ass hole for him. He doesn't even look at the hole. He just runs straight right into linemen. Like, what are you doing? I mean, like, you're not the guy that we saw in your rookie year bursting through the hole and punishing people trying to tackle you. All we're seeing is you putting your head down and running straight into linemen, hoping you're going to break some tackles and get a first down. And on top of that, why does he keep falling all the time? He barely gets contact and he falls right away. It's like, dude,
Isaac,
not helping out.
Everything you're saying kind of like ties into what I'm saying, right? Like, it looked like he's putting that serious work in his rookie year, and he's giving us that good workhorse type, production as a backup running back. But then it just seems like he just does the same exact thing over and over again. It's like, dude, you got to mix this up eventually.
That's so you're saying he's there just for the money.
Yeah, that's why I hope working out and playing with Jacobs, that'll motivate him to be
You guys got to remember, he got married and had a kid too, man. I guarantee you that weighed into how he's been. I mean, and I'm not trying to make no excuse for him, but Isaac, you got a bad new baby. You know how it is. Kid to keep you up at night.
Yeah, but that's extra motivation, though, to work harder,
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Family,
I'm gonna agree with Rob on this one. I was about 150 pounds before I had my first kid. I'm now 210 pounds. 2 kids later, so I think
it weighs on you, bro. He got married and had a baby, dude.
Hey, let's just be real.
Literally weighs on you.
Yeah, let's just be real. Hey, let's just be real. We brought back Dylan because he hypnotized us with his thighs. You know what I mean? He started like shaking his thighs.
Oh yeah.
No, we're
watch Dylan's back.
He's done with the 90s.
He said he's going to give back to keep it Door County, so we couldn't let him go.
One thing you guys didn't mention about Jacobs is Devontae Adams put his stamp of approval on it.
Oh yeah, you're right. He did.
It sounded like Adams wanted to come back to Green. He keeps making these.
He did.
Yeah, he also talked about Jordan Love, saying Jordan Love was the shit too.
He shouldn't have left. He shouldn't have left. But Bill, I'm actually going to pull. I want to get to our next topic.
Or even,
I want you.
Well, what about this off. Hey, what about hints that Michael Hyde wants to come back?
I heard about that too earlier today.
Yeah.
But his hit is only like 3.3 or something like that. That's just going.
He's really old though, man. He's like 33.
Yeah. I don't think
Bill
does that because he wants the team to go young. So I don't think he do that.
So we're going to move on to this next one, and I think Bill's perfect to start this one off.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on LaFleur and Ebler loser fucking sitting next to each other?
Pretty good.
Are they like
Eberfluser.
friends, or are they like what is going on here?
I think it's more or less Matt LaFleur's, he feels bad, man. You guys ain't got a quarterback in how many years? Maybe you guys ought to try this or that, but I think it's more or less him trying to keep his enemies closer at this
That's
point.
I like it. Denver from the Broncos. Simmons. Yeah. That or Blackman.
No, you know what?
Jason?
You know what
What's
happened there is Eberflus was sneaking money in the LaFleur's pocket. It's like, hey, let me have a win next year. Come on, dude. Here you go. I'm gonna bribe you real quick.
Oh no. He had security move him next to LaFleur so he could ask how to actually be a head coach and get some type of offensive success.
I just don't know what they could possibly be talking about. Like, is it?
What I heard was it just actually it happened. It wasn't planned. Wasn't this? All of a sudden they end up being there. Something like his granddaughter or something like that, and her daughters were playing and
It was an accident, man. It was just an accident.
Yeah,
You know what I think? I think
then they talk.
they're
They
like,
sat back and talked.
well, how do you get a good quarterback? How do you guys do it? And LaFleur's sitting there. He's like, okay, here's what you guys do. You keep Justin Fields, and then he walked out of there laughing his ass off, going, "We got the next 10 games in a row, guys."
We can't keep coordinators around here. They keep on. They don't want to play with fucking Fields. We can't teach them nothing.
I think what happened is one of them bought a ticket, the other one bought a ticket. They didn't know they were sitting next to each other. It's like, oh shit, this guy.
I own you.
I have some of your popcorn. Nah, that's cool.
So we're gonna continue, but I'm gonna go ahead and put up our advertisement because we hit that midway mark. So of course you're watching the Frozen Tundra Network. Like and share our page on Facebook and Instagram, and of course we got Bill the Packer fan who's always been here with us. And now we have Packers News 24/7 for all of your Packers news, highlights, and updates. One of our newest pages, PackerBacker News. They have a morning show every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Go check them out. And as everybody knows, we have the Frozen Tundra Network podcast on the Northeast Streaming Sports Channel that is live every Saturday and Monday, 5 p.m. Central Time. I wish I didn't have a list, but so Eberflus getting canned after another 6-win season. I could actually see him getting fired after this season, especially if they do go with a new quarterback and it just does not look good at all. I can see it, but
well, personally, I think I'm going to say personally, I think when it comes to all the moves we've seen the Bears do, this season may as well be playoffs or bust for them.
I agree.
Like they're going to have a better season this year with Justin Fields. Otherwise, all this is for nothing. Like, that's how I look at it. It has to be playoffs or bust for Chicago at this moment.
Yeah, because
like
all we
you had
keep
Justin
hearing
Fields for how many years, and you still haven't put together a winning season with him.
Yeah, all we hear about is the progression. I made a point last night in that back chat where, Jordan Love made an enormous progression in half a year. It's been 3 years, and Justin Fields is taking minute baby steps forward. Like, yeah, but it's progression, right? Like, do you want your quarterback to get 50 more passing yards a year? Is that your goal? Like, he can't even break 3,000 yards.
Even a Bears legend said, if in 3 years you're still questioning the quarterback, something's the problem.
Yeah, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take, Ken? You're the one that's on with the co-host with the Bears, man. How long is this going to take?
Well, my co-host, it could be another year or two that they want to give Fields.
No.
In possibly the best QB draft that you can find of recent memory? Like, this
the only part of that argument that I'll agree with is that if they keep putting this team together, they'll sorry, I lost my train of thought for half a second. If they keep putting this team together, they've got everything set up beautifully to go for Arch Manning when he comes through. But that's taken a lot of hopes and what ifs that you're going to be in the position to be able to draft him because he's probably going number 1 overall. And if you think you're going to be going to the number 1 overall pick multiple years in a row now, that don't sound like too much of a recipe for success for me.
My thing is he was trying to make this point where, like, well, if they just keep building around Fields, if they just keep building around, it'll work eventually, right? Like, no, look, you have to have a pocket passing quarterback for your receivers moves, for all these moves that actually matter, man. The fact is, your offensive line is actually holding up. Fields is just running into the defenders, like, constantly. You see it all the time, okay? He's also a big contributor to those sack totals. When you run out of the pocket and you don't look through your progressions, then what's the point of having all these receivers? What's even the point? The only person you look at is DJ Moore now, and you can't throw one guy the ball a million times. We've seen that even with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. So, to me, this just is never going to work with Fields. I don't know why. Like
you got
I'm going to go up. I know you're passionate about this subject. Why bang your head on the wall any longer? Why bash your head on the wall any longer?
I'm on the same morning show with that guy, and we go over this all the time. He's convinced of he's got a lot of different theories, and Bear fans have convinced themselves of how he is. Heard other Bear fans. He's not the only one who's convinced that if they take a rookie quarterback, that's the same thing. They're giving up. I mean, they're starting over, and they don't want to admit that they have to start over with their quarterback. So they're going to give Fields a shot. Poles broke it all down. He tore the whole team down. So every piece they put in, yes, they get better because they didn't have that piece. And by all these pieces, that's where they're at. Now, if Fields can't take the reins and make it work with this, then, it's a complete and utter fail, and they've just given up another year. I don't know if Poles is willing to do that because his career is on the line now. You know? Yeah. Honestly, if they don't make the playoffs, I don't see him coming back. Or Flus. I'm just saying, bro, if they don't do it, that's the progression they're at.
And Bill, your best friend is a Bears fan. How do you feel about this subject? Wait, do you and your boy just like argue? Like you're like, dude, Justin Fields sucks, and he's just like, no, he doesn't.
Mike's actually 50-50 on keeping Justin Fields. He's open to both. If he gets traded, he's not going to cry, and if he stays, he's not going to cry either.
Okay.
I don't think he'll be a Bear next year.
I don't think. I'm still not sure he'll be a Bear this year.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. This next season, I don't think he's going to be a Bear. Yeah, not at all.
It all comes down to polls. It's going to be what polls does. All of us are just speculating. Bear fans are speculating.
Yeah, it's all speculation at this point. Yeah, for sure, bud.
He's smoking polls if he wants to keep Fields.
Hey, Dub, you were going to say something. Go for it. No, I think he froze or something.
Yeah, one other issue you could say Justin Fields may have playing with this offense is the same problem Mitch Trubisky has that Fields had, is that he can rarely read defenses out there as a means of not being able to go through the progressions. He'll have his flashes here and there, but how good is he reading the defense out there, especially with some of the plays where he gets sacked or turn the ball over so often?
Yeah. And there was this point that they were trying to make, like, oh, there's this side-by-side. You guys keep saying Justin Fields holds the ball too long. Him and Love, you can see at times are holding the ball the same amount of time. And so for me, that's great and all that you think that that's a legit argument. It's actually not. Jordan Love is looking through his progressions, and he's looking where he's going to launch the ball while he's holding the ball. Justin Fields is running like a running back, trying to get away while he's holding the ball. That's the difference. Yeah. Jordan Love isn't running, scrambling, not making nothing out of nothing. Instead, he's making something out of nothing because he's looking through. He's making his reads, man. That's what takes him so long.
And I don't want to hear that bullshit excuse, the O-line. Oh, the O-line, the O-line.
That's their excuse. That's their excuse, though. That they finished 26th. They finished 26th while we finished 10th. But we didn't start out 10th. Our O-line had to be put together. It didn't. It literally sucked at the beginning of the year. By the end, it was 10th. But that's Ken's other argument is if your O-line can't protect your quarterback, nobody's going to do good back there. Love's not going to do good. Nobody's. I mean, he's 100% saying their O-line's crap.
Fields also doesn't help his O-line help him.
And our O-line was banged up too.
Yes, that's what I mean. I try to use that same argument.
I mean, why would he stick with Fields? He didn't draft him. For one thing, this is great. This is the best time right now. You got the number 1 pick. You got a good chance to get away from Fields. You got a clean slate. You got a brand new quarterback. You just worry about paying for another 4 or 5 years. Regroup. You know what I mean? Why would you stick with Fields? 3 years, hasn't done shit. Even worse in every category. He's pretty much worse in every category. I mean, it's time to move on. You can get some kind of draft pick, a 4th, maybe 4, maybe now, or whatever.
His fourth quarter stats, I don't think I've ever seen stats that bad in the fourth quarter.
Hey, remember that?
Exactly. He just needs to go. They need a fresh everything. You know.
Remember that stat? He was 33rd and there's 32 teams.
And I really find it crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry. And I gotta say, it's almost funny that almost everybody looks at Justin Fields as nothing more than a backup. Like, if he gets traded anywhere, the only role he's gonna have is a backup to a veteran or any other rookie that's out there.
Yeah.
That's how most teams view him, except for Bears. Yeah. That's what I find amusing.
Every time I bring up fumbles, but how many did he recover? It doesn't matter. You lost a fucking down. You know what I mean? Every time he fumbles, he drops the ball all the time.
Well, also, how many years are you going to fumble the ball 16 times and recover most of them? That's not going to happen every year. All of a sudden, you're going to start losing more and more of those. It's the NFL, man. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce away.
You do it on 3rd down, it's like, oh, shit, no, we got to go back to the
numbers are atrocious. I just don't get it, bro. The numbers don't lie. 10-28 in his 38 starts. He averages 2,200 yards a year, 14 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Those are backup numbers, bro. That's what they are. Those are the numbers of
stares them down,
bro.
Yeah,
all he does is he has tunnel vision for DJ Moore. You know, the Bear fans like, well, DJ Moore had career numbers. He had personal career numbers because he was the only target, him and Komet. Those are the only two that he sees. Yep. And they added second-rate, players.
And they gave Mooney. Mooney had 1,000 yards with the other 2 quarterbacks, and then he comes in with Fields. It has nothing. You know what I mean? It wasn't even utilized.
Hold on. Hey, we got breaking news. The Bears have just traded Justin Fields to the Steelers.
Wow.
For a 5th-round pick.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
Right here in black and white.
Wow.
Really?
All right, so now to Russell Wilson.
Back up to Russell Wilson.
Somebody get on right now.
We're just talking about him.
Somebody get Ken Dobb on right now.
Everybody, if you want to watch the funniest show ever, tomorrow morning. Are you guys doing it tomorrow morning?
No, it's Monday morning.
Monday morning. Go watch the Ken and Ken morning show, and you will watch the funniest show you've ever seen in your whole life.
I'll be there. I'll be on there.
Yeah.
I hope so, John. We'll be looking for you.
You'll have me and Robbie Bourne on there, along with Ken the Bear fan, who loves Justin Fields.
Public announcement.
To get his reaction for this.
Yeah. We're setting up the Ken and Rick show. And pay-per-view, $49.99. You can send it to my Venmo. We're setting it up. Pay-per-view.
Rick is probably already just...
He's salivating in the back.
And he sure is.
And I'm already calling. And I am calling it now. Clearly, this is a backup for Russell Wilson. He's going to be everything that Russell Wilson is except younger.
I think it's going to be good for him. I actually think this is going to be good for him.
So it wasn't coincidence Justin Fields to stop following the Bears on Instagram and all that type of shit.
I think that what the Steelers are doing makes a lot of sense. Look, we talked about this on the morning show even. You got Russell Wilson, right? You got him for $1.2 million, man. You get Justin Fields, And you don't have to play him this year. You sit him behind Wilson. You let him learn more. And you know what? If there's one coach other than like Andy Reid or maybe John Harbaugh that I can think of that would be perfect to try to fix Justin Fields, dude, I mean, the Steelers is Tomlin and the Steelers.
Tomlin is a great coach, man. Great coach.
I actually think this is a great move by the Steelers because Fields does have potential. We've never said that he didn't have potential.
They're offended by a 5th round pick, bro. They're offended by a 5th round pick. They think it should be better.
We've never once said that Fields doesn't have potential. The problem is the Bears themselves as a franchise are ruining him. And you know what? Dude, this is a good move. Tomlin and Fields could get this ship right. You could sit behind Russell Wilson, learn a whole lot, take a year off, no more pressure this year. And, dude, maybe next year when Russell Wilson is potentially gone. Oh, what?
I have a bit of an update to it. It is not a 5th round pick. It is a conditional 6th round pick that could possibly go to a 4th based on playing time.
That's even worse.
It's a backup, bro.
He got traded for a bag of chips and a pack of Wrigley gum.
Oh, wow. Bro.
So wait. What was the trade that the Falcons? I want to know what the Falcons. I want to know what the Falcons offered now the Bears didn't take, because the Falcons, from the report that I read, the Falcons said the Bears asked too much. What did the Falcons offer them?
Exactly. Probably a 7th.
Hey, now the Bears have something to do
I have
with
no
Caleb
idea,
Williams.
but
that's why the coaches were at the game together.
Exactly.
Well, Forsyth, you got to move on from this guy. What the fuck, man?
Man,
trade him for pennies. Trade him for pennies. That's not me, brother. What were they going to do for him?
I guess with this, yeah, with this trade, I guess it's a guarantee you're drafting a quarterback with that first pick now.
Yeah, he traded Fields for a Slurpee, a bag of Boogles, and fucking urinal.
We're trading Clifford for a 3rd round pick.
Hey, they traded Fields for urinal Jackson.
hey, look, man. I want to say, Ken was like, he loves Poles. He thinks Poles is a genius GM, and I'm going to tell you, he is a genius GM. He knows that his ass was on the line. He knew that getting a quarterback was the right thing to do. And Bear fans, you're going to thank him. I know a lot of you don't like this move, but you're going to thank your GM maybe in 5 years when they're doing something. If they can do something with this guy.
A must move.
Hey,
Bear fans.
Bye-bye, Marvin Harrison. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us Packers fans, though, it might not be as guaranteed of a win next year against the Bears as it would have been at Field Stadium.
Yes, no, now it's not. Now it's a question mark. There's a question mark.
I see what happened, though.
Bro, I'm going to give it to him.
I can see them actually moving back, like a few spots back, get more draft capital, and get like names or Daniel.
Who are the Bears taking as their quarterback?
Well, bro, the Bears got 3 picks. They got the 1, the 9, because they traded one of their 4 picks to get Keenan Allen. So they're only down to like 3 picks. So they really are 4 picks, whatever it is. They really only, I mean, that second pick would be, but as Ken said, they're one piece away. They need a quarterback. Well, they thought they need, he didn't know they were going to need a quarterback, but he said they needed an edge rusher, and they thought he thought that they would use that at 9 to go get a nice edge rusher. But I mean, I don't know now, man. I mean, maybe I would trade it for more picks. You only got 4.
Good offensive lineman.
Bustin' Field.
Oh yeah, offense. Yeah, there's a lot of needs. They had a big list of needs, bro. A big list.
You know who's happy right now? Justin Fields, because he's finally going to get to the playoffs for the first time in his career. Even though he won't play in it, he won't play in the game. But he'll be there.
Hey, what an offseason! Fucking Justin Fields gone, Kirk Cousins gone. What the fuck's going on?
Holy shit, bro! You're right.
So look,
what a mix-up in the NFC North. All because of Jordan Love. Jordan Love showed you what a nice quarterback will do.
Let me ask you guys a question. How many games do you think the Bears, if they draft Caleb Williams, which is what it looks like they're probably going to do, and it looks like they're not going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. now because of that, how many games do you realistically think the Bears will win this year after all, if this is what happens, which is what it looks like it's going to happen, I'm going to go ahead and give them like 5 wins. I'm going to call it. What do you guys think? Who wants to go first?
I think they go 8 wins.
I go
8 wins.
Yeah, I mean they got a talented group, and Caleb, he's a really talented quarterback.
I'm gonna call it a learning year, though. I wouldn't give them 8 wins. I think they'll lose games at the end that they shouldn't have, and then the year after that, they'll probably start winning those games more.
I give them 5 wins because the guys that they picked up, they're pretty much they're all second tier,
second rate, man. Yeah,
they're not home runs or nothing, man. I say 5 wins.
So Ken, since you get to talk about it all morning on Monday, what do you think?
I'm going to say with the roster that they have, it's going to be between 6 to 8 wins. As long as Caleb Williams there is what he's touted to be or even close to it, with what they're constructing, they should be able to get there with competent quarterback play.
Okay. What about you, Rob? What do you think?
I'm in the 5 to 8. I mean, look, man. Last year with Jordan Love going through that, and not knowing, I mean, they're going to do the same thing. And honestly, with all the pieces they've added, and on defense, and I mean, their defense is going to help them win a few games. I mean, their defense showed that at the end of last season. I mean, that's the reason they were in some of those games. I mean, not because of their offense. I mean, the defense helped them, but as far as it, I mean, yeah, if he's a competent quarterback, if it's Williams or even who's the other guy that's right behind him,
Drake May, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, May. Yeah, a lot of Bear fans are split. If they ended up with a rookie, it was between those two. So now that's going to be the argument. I'm sure on Monday we're going to have a whole nother because Fields is out of the equation now. So it's going to be which one of those two do they take, and his character is going to come into question. I guarantee you.
I got a big question. I got a question.
Go.
Okay. Now, Williams, if they draft Williams, and when the Packers whip their ass, is Williams going to go to his mommy and cry?
No, because Williams is a Packers fan. Williams is going to be like, go, Pack, go!
Hey, this is what I said. GMs always choose their guy. Now, do you believe me, Ken? GMs always get their guy, and Fields is not Poles' guy.
No.
Go ahead, A-Dub.
Yep. To answer that question earlier, I could see the Bears perhaps regressing beneath that 7-win season they had. Like, I'd say their ceiling's going to be 7 wins, and their floor could be less than that. Like, that's the number I could see them at as far as what they were able to do last season, because it's going to come down to how much work and progression that this QB is going to go through that they pick up, how much time he needs to learn the system and get a connection with the offense and the receivers that he's got now. Considering how much time he's going to have to do that, I would say the number of wins I give is about 7 or less. I don't see more than 7.
What happened to that trigger line?
I got a great question for everybody. This is going to be our last segment. If the Bears are drafting a quarterback, right? I think we all know that now. If the Vikings also draft a quarterback, even if they move up with their picks or they stay at their pick and get a quarterback, whatever. If the Vikings get a quarterback with their pick and the Bears get a quarterback with their pick, who wins the basement this year? I want to start with Rob.
Well, I'm going to go with the Vikings. I mean, they added Aaron Jones in there, and I still think the JJ thing is going to be a problem with them because I think he's going to hold out. Unless they get somebody spectacular in the draft. I mean, a lot of things got to happen for them. But
do you think DJ Moore and Keenan Allen is better than Justin Jefferson and Addison?
No, I don't think that. No. I just think I want to know who they got. It's hard to say. I mean, you're right. It's going to be between the Bears and the Vikings for sure. For no doubt. And I think the same old Lions are going to go backwards a little bit too. But I mean, all right, yeah. You know what? You're right. I'm going to say you're right, Nick. You talked me out of it just because they also got Hawkinson and they added here. All right, so I'm going to say yeah. So all right, the Bears are the basement dwellers still.
Yeah, their big gut punch last year was that running game, and adding Aaron Jones with Chandler, I think that actually might work for them. What do you think, John Dorn? Who wins this basement?
Yeah, I'm going to say that the Bears be in the basement. I mean, the Vikings defense is actually pretty damn good.
Well, the Bears defense got better too, though.
Yeah, they were number one against the run.
Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. Jordan Love picked both of them apart, so it doesn't
True
really
that.
matter. You know,
True that. True that.
But
That's why we weren't in the basement.
It's hard saying, tell you the truth. Without knowing who the quarterbacks are going to be. But
Packers,
I hope that the
Vikings.
Packers
There you
win.
go, Jason. I like it. I like it, bro.
You know what? I could actually see the Lions winning the division one more year, to be honest, and then we start. I could see it for one more year, and I could see us taking over and dominating. I could see it. But I actually look. I'll give my opinion last. Go ahead, Isaac. What do you think about this whole thing?
Hey, Dorn, can you sing it with me? Bears still suck.
Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
Still suck.
Yeah.
They really, 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 really suck.
And don't forget the same old Lions.
Same old Lions. Yeah, I just think that, the Bears are still going to be in the basement. The Vikings might get a little better if they get a competent quarterback on that team. They still got a lot of weapons. I mean, Hawkinson will probably come back mid-season. You know what I mean? So they really got weapons there. Addison really showed he's a great number 2. And then Jefferson, I know they're going to re-sign Jefferson. They're not going to
about JJ fucking great.
And add Aaron Jones into that, you have another offensive weapon that can run the ball and catch the ball. So the Vikings will be a little bit better than the Bears. But that's about it. They can fight for meatloaf down there in the basement all day.
Meatloaf.
I gotta be honest. If the Vikings didn't get Aaron Jones, I would choose them. But I'm telling you, that's
you're right.
a little bit of the game for them. What do you think, Ken?
I'm going to go with I still think JJ is going to end up being out of town. I think he's going to end up getting traded somewhere. I just have that feeling.
You're right, bro. It could happen.
With all he said,
if he doesn't, in this hypothetical,
if he doesn't, and their roster is exactly as it is now,
but they both draft quarterbacks.
Yes, I'd say the Bears would be in the basement, but I believe JJ is going, and I have more faith in DJ Moore as a number 1 than I do as Addison as a number 1.
Okay, so if JJ goes, you're choosing the Vikings to be in the basement this time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even the smartest thing to do is
having JJ gone is going to be too much for them to handle.
Their defense got a little worse. They traded Daniil Hunter. You got to remember that.
True that. What do you think, A-Dub?
That's true.
As far as who I think will be in the basement, considering I'm not so sure. Like at first I got Minnesota because I'm not sure who's their QB going to be, but then you think that between the Bears and the Vikings, it's just hard for me to consider who is the worst when it comes to developing quarterbacks or even drafting QBs. Like they not that far off from each other in that regards. So it's hard for me to say who's going to be worse than who.
I just think that the Vikings have a little bit of a better roster, especially with Aaron Jones at the running back position. That offense, to be honest, let's say you put Baker Mayfield in that offense, I could see him flourishing because they have so many weapons. It's crazy. If JJ gets traded, I could agree with Ken. Like it's almost going to be like they're just restarting again, right? And they're going to be at the bottom for like probably a year or 2, maybe even 3. The Bears are starting over again, but I mean, they are at least building pieces for their start over. So they're a little bit further ahead of the rebuild. You know what I mean?
Apparently they were going to be in the
the Bears are going to be the worst team. They're going to be the
3
worst
teams are supposed to come out of the North this year, according to Ken.
Well, look, that's all the time that we have today. Thank you, everybody, for watching the Frozen Tundra Network. Thank you, everybody that was on the show as well. And goodbye, Justin Fields. No one will miss you in the North.
Well, I'm going to miss him throwing interceptions.
Yeah, that was the only stamp that he made on this division was throwing interceptions and losing games. You did nothing of significance for the NFC North in any way.
Now we get to watch the Bear fans cry.
Everyone have a great day. Go Pack, go. Have a great weekend.
We will see you guys later.
Pressure, two inside backers come down the sideline. Romeo Dobbs, a touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, the Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner,